All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our last UFCA meeting of the year. If you can believe it, a whole year has flown by and a whole another year of virtual meetings. I know a lot of us were hoping to get back together towards the end of the summer for maybe an in-person meeting this fall before the weather got a little too cold, but the pandemic didn't really agree with us, so here we are. So I just wanted to welcome everyone tonight and just introduce myself for those of you that I haven't met before. I'm Jen Tran, president of UFCA. I'm going to change my my name here, but I just wanted to say hi and welcome you all tonight, and then give the other officers a quick chance to introduce themselves to you as well. I'll kick it over to Evan and then Amanda.
How's it going? Evan Hara, my second meeting is zoning chair, so if I apologize for any missteps, but here to help with anything zoning.
My name's Amanda. I live on Cambridge Street and I'm the secretary of UFCA. And I'm also helping to try to run an outreach committee, which I'll talk about later because we want to help with that. And welcome everybody.
And the other officer that will join us just in a little bit is my neighbor, Chris Morin. He's the UFCA treasurer as well. And he is head of the fundraising and sponsorship committee. So I'll quickly just share my screen and go over the agenda for tonight. Can everybody see that? You need me to zoom in a little bit?
You see it pretty well.
Okay. So as I mentioned, we'll just go over some quick announcements. We'll jump right into our committee updates. Unfortunately, one of the community spotlights that we were hoping to have for tonight got a little bit delayed, so we'll welcome them in January instead. So I'll give a quick overview about what to expect there. The committee updates, we have one zoning project up for review tonight for 1625 Brown Street, and then we'll have a little bit of time for an open community discussion. But I know everyone's super busy gearing up for the holidays, so I think this meeting, the last one of the year, will be nice and short and sweet. As always, feel free to jump in anytime with questions or use the raise hand feature. You can also use the chat with any questions you may have, and the officers will, moderate and make sure that your questions are answered. And so with that, I just wanted to share, as I announced in last month's meeting in November, my husband and I will be leaving the city after 20 years of living here. So at the end of this month, I will be stepping down from my role as president of UFCA. So we are seeking dedicated volunteers in the community to step up and take over, the elected roles of president. We also have the vice president role that wasn't filled from earlier this year with another board member departure. We really need people to step up into these roles and keep the Civic Association running really smoothly. It's been really successful over the last couple of years. And without the leadership of people in the community, I would really, really hate to see this not continue. And so, I'm just putting that call out there for anyone. If anyone has any questions about it, again, it's a volunteer position. It's really rewarding. It really doesn't take that much time. And, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have about it. So feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat. We also have, so if anyone is interested in running for any of those positions, we would just require a 150-word bio from you about yourself, your residency or business in the community, why you want to run for the position. We'll share those at the January community meeting to the community, so everyone can learn a little bit more about you and why you want to run for the position. And then the elections will be in February. Also, per our bylaws, we will be running an election for the secretary position, which is elected on even numbered years, along with the vice president role. So again, if anyone has any questions, let me know, let Amanda or Chris know, or Evan, we'd be happy to answer them. So that's my plea for the community. The other thing I wanted to mention is, so the community spotlight that couldn't come tonight, it's the outreach unit of the Philadelphia Department of Public Health COVID Contamination Division. The department's actually planning to open a COVID rapid testing resource hub next month at the Community College of Philadelphia. It's a little preliminary. They were hoping to come to tonight's meeting to share a little bit more about the resources that they would be able to offer, but it's just not quite ready yet. So we know we'll welcome them in January, so we can learn a little bit more about what that resource hub entails and the offerings it has for the community. And I know if they do open in the next couple of weeks before our next meeting, I'll be sure to include information on social media, our website, and email for everyone to learn a little bit more about it as well. And so with that, I just want to jump really quickly into the committee updates. I'll wait for Chris to join to share a little bit more about the fall cleanup day, but maybe Amanda, in the meantime, I know you had some resources about holiday giving that you wanted to share with the community.
Too many screens open up. That's what happens when you're trying to take notes at the same time. So can I share my screen? I think so. We'll steal it. So we had some people asking about where they could donate locally during the holidays. So I put together a super quick places in the area that you could donate to. So if you're looking to donate stuff in the holiday season, Project Home's main site at 1515 Fairmount has a whole list of things that they accept for in-kind donations. There's a Mama T's fridge at 2015 Fairmount where you could donate food, and I put some resources on more on that. We have a youth emergency teen shelter at 1526 Fairmount, and there's a whole list of things that they need to be donated. They give the preface that please call ahead if you're bringing by a donation, but pretty much any day 9 to 6 you can drop off donations. And then People for People is another nonprofit in our neighborhood, and 714 North Broad Street. It's connected with the church that I'm blanking the name on, Greater Exodus Church, I think it is, Baptist Church. They said the one thing that they know they always need is baby supplies. And in the future, they're going to be one of our community spotlight presenters, and they're going to get together some lists of other things that they know that they'll need. But right now they said they're in need of baby supplies, formula, diapers, all of that kind of stuff. And then if you don't know about them already, Uhuru is on 832 North Broad Street, and they are always looking for more furniture. And then if you're looking to give money, Project Home, again, they have a lot of sites in our community. Fairmount Bicycles, they were our community spotlight last time, and they talked a lot about this community card, which is really cool. You can donate money and it goes to an account at Fairmount Bicycles. So people who can't afford bikes or repairs on their bikes, they can use that money and get free repairs. And then People for People. And then of course you can donate to us, and there's the link to our PayPal. And then there's also a few food pantries within Francisville. I can open it up to the community. I've tried to reach out to all of them and haven't really gotten in touch with any of them. My hope is to kind of just stop by and when they're open to get more information. I just haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. But there's 3 different food pantries. Usually food pantries get donations straight from Philabundance and Share. So usually you can't drop off food directly. So that was a huge maybe, but if anyone has more information, I know some people were interested in running a food drive, which is a great idea and concept, but then a lot of times people don't actually accept that stuff. So I would think we should get in touch with them first. And if anyone has more information on these 3 food banks, maybe Charles, I feel like you know everyone and everything. What the process is and if they take donations. And I'll, at the next meeting, hopefully I'll have more information on if you can donate there. I'm going to share these out when we share out the meeting notes. So if anyone's looking to donate for the holidays, you have some resources that are hyper local in Francisville that you can do that. And if you want to join the outreach committee, please let me know, because there's not much of a committee right now, and I'd love to get more voices and more people involved in our meetings.
Thanks, Amanda. And I wanted to add, thanks for sharing the link to donate. Maybe we can drop it in the chat if you have it handy. The link to donate to UFCA, in addition to being a totally volunteer-led organization for the Francisville community, all of the money that it takes to run things like our email and website, meeting invites, email blast list, like the email blast you got tonight, that all costs money. It's very nominal, but those donations help keep us running. And so any donations that you can spare, even just a few dollars, would be much, much appreciated. Does anyone have any questions for Amanda? That was really awesome to put together. I know everyone's always asking where can they help or volunteer, and there's just so many places you don't even know where to start sometimes.
And I'm sure there's a million others in our community. Those are just the ones that I know of. So I just threw them out there.
Could you email the deck, Amanda? Could you email the slides?
Yeah, definitely. I'll email that out.
Cool.
All right. And then just a quick update from the Marketing and Events Committee, which I lead. As usual, not a ton of updates, but Eastern State Penitentiary wanted me to remind you that the second Sunday, I believe, of every month is 191 Free O, which is free daytime tours and visits for the penitentiary for anyone residing in the zip code 19130. And then I also wanted to mention the Philly Leaf Recycling Program. They park at the corner of Poplar and Corinthian in the neighborhood. So if you have any leaves or yard waste that you've picked up from the fall cleanups you might have done, and you need a place to put them sustainably without throwing them in the garbage, you can just walk them right over. You'll see a big sanitation type of truck parked on the corner of Poplar and Corinthian, and the folks working on the truck will just take your bags and dump them right in for recycling, and they turn them into compost. So that was really great. And so that's available every Saturday through December 18th. So that's closing up pretty quickly. And I will put a link in the chat for that for anyone who's interested. And then I just want to turn it over to Chris Morin just to give a quick recap on our last event that we had for the Fall Cleanup Day.
Hey, Jen, thanks. Yeah, just real quick, we wanted to thank Vineyards for contributing coffee and treats. I know we had some people come out and clean their own blocks, clean around the Ridge Avenue area. So, and I think it was a good closeout to the winter. So appreciate everyone coming out. We are going to have the next one probably in April. I know it seems a little far away, but it's winter time now. So welcome you guys to clean your own blocks. I do have extra bags and some tools. If you need anything, just feel free to reach out in the interim, and then we'll plan something bigger for April. So looking forward to that, Jen.
Great, thanks. And is there any other updates from community resources or regarding fundraising and sponsorship?
Not for me right now, Jen. Thanks.
Okay. And Chris, off the top of your head, how much money does it typically take, or do we try to raise every year to keep UFCA running?
I'd have to check back on that. I had a budget from last year, but it's between one and about $1,000 or $1,500 a year.
All right, thanks. Okay. Before we jump into zoning, just wanted to see if anybody had any questions about any of the topics we covered tonight. Like I said, we're moving through this pretty quickly, so it'll be a short and sweet meeting. All right. With that, then, Evan, I'll turn it over to you. Let us know if we can assist in any way.
Alrighty. We only have one project today, which is for 1625 Brown. And for that, I will turn it over to Steve to explain the variance.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Masters. I'm a zoning attorney, and I'm here with Josh Cohen, who's the owner of 1625 Brown. I have some exhibits to show you. So start that here. Great. Is everybody seeing that on the screen?
Yep.
Excellent. All right. So I'm going to start with the history. Oops. Let's go down. So in the zoning archive, this is from 1963. And it gives the history of this, this building. I'm gonna try and make this a little bigger. Okay. So all right, we'll skip the touting of how great this is compared to the blighted properties around it. This property since 1918 was licensed as a rooming house, and the present, when it says the present occupancy, that is 6 units back in the 1963 application that existed since 1924. From 1918 to 1924, it was a rooming house. In 1924, the house was converted. It says 2 apartments, 2 non-housekeeping units, 24 to 33. That was owner occupied. And then in 1960, there was some bathrooms created, whatever. And basically, continual occupancy for 55 years since 1918 as a rooming house and as multiple apartments. In 1963, the zoning board granted a variance for the 6 units that existed at 1625 Brown Street. Since that time, and I'll show you some drawings, there were 2 units on each floor, but on the 3rd floor, the 2 units were combined into 1. So there is 5 units that has existed for many, many decades. And the reason that even a building normally that's that old, that predates the zoning code, kind of gets it's non-conforming, and its previous uses, it just gets continued no matter what the zoning code says. In this case, because there were at some points there were applications made to LNI for smaller amounts, like to zone it for less than the 5 and 6 units. At this point, when Josh bought it, and he'll tell you the story in a moment, it was actually the most recent permit for the use when he bought it 20 years ago was for 1 person, even though it has 5 separate apartments. The zoning is RM1, and this is from the zoning code, which kind of explains the calculation of how LNI came up with their refusal. So let's make this a little bigger here. In the RM1 district, the minimum lot area per dwelling unit is according to a table. So for the first 1,440 square feet of the lot area, you need a minimum of 360 square feet per dwelling unit. So when you multiply or divide 1440 by 360, you get four permissible units. Then if the lot is bigger than 1440, then for every additional 480 square feet above 1440, you can have an additional unit. We'll go up to the actual size of the lot here. So we'll go to the top. So this is the refusal. And the lot is 1,663 square feet. So it's bigger than the 1440, but it's not as big as it would be required under the current zoning code to have a 5th unit. So basically, what that means is that this, under the zoning code, this building is entitled to have 4 apartments, but since it was started with 6 and then brought to 5, it has more than the code allows, which is why we are getting a variance for that additional 5th unit, because the 4 are legally allowed. Let's look at the plans. So this is the site plan. So we have Brown Street is down here. And there's a side yard towards the rear with some bay windows and a rear yard also, and the cross hatch is the structure, the home on the lot. For the site plan, or I'm sorry, the floor plan. So this is the first floor plan. This is apartment A. It's a 1-bedroom. And apartment B is also a 1-bedroom. They each have a living room and a kitchen. On the second floor, this is apartment D in the front. And it's also a 1-bedroom with a kitchen. And apartment C is also 1-bedroom. On the third floor, this is all 1 unit. So it's 2 bedrooms, and a living room and a kitchen on the third floor. And here's the elevation drawing. Make it a little smaller so you can see it all. Too small. Okay. And then we have a bunch of photos. So I'll have Josh go through those with us. But first, I just wanted to introduce you to Josh and have him tell you the story of how he came to own this property.
Hi, should I talk now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, hi, I'm Josh Cohen. I'm the owner of 1625 Brown Street. I bought the building 20 years ago in 2001 from a person. He was an interesting guy. He said he's really not that interested in having real estate to like make a lot of money. He got it to help house people who would have a hard time paying fair market values for rent. And he asked that if I bought the building from him, would I commit to allow whatever people are in each unit when I get it to stay there and to not raise the rent more than 5% per year for the first 5 years, because he realized, you have to make money and all that, but he wanted to try to take care of his people, and I agreed to that. And and then I didn't really raise the rent on those people, and it's 20 years later. The person, there's only 1 unit like that that's still there. There were 2 people that stayed, and the woman on the third floor had the 2-bedroom for about 15 years, and she paid $450 a month for a 2-bedroom, including all utilities. So that was a great deal for her. And then the people on the first floor rear they're paying $450, 2 brothers, and they can't really afford more than that. And that's for a 1-bedroom, and that includes all utilities. And they've been there for 20 years while I owned it, but I think they lived there. I think they moved in 1989. And he's a dishwasher. There are 2 brothers, and anyway, and the younger brother can't work at all. He's disabled. And and so I don't know. Is that what you want me to tell that part of the story?
Yeah, can you tell them about the other tenants in the building, how long they've been there, and how long tenants have have typically stayed in the building since you've owned it?
Well, on the first floor front, there's a guy, he's a comedian, an actor. I don't know if that's his main job. I'm not sure. I don't remember what his main job is, but he's been there about 2 or 3 years, and he's a really nice guy, very friendly. And like I said, on the first floor rear, those are the people that were there when I bought it. And then on the second floor rear, we just got a person moving in about a year ago. I don't remember what she does. We had a teacher there for a number of years, but she just moved out. And on the second floor front, they've been there about a year. And on the third floor, we just rented it out a few days ago, December 1st. And she's great. She works for a company that delivers organic food across the whole country to people through the mail and FedEx and all that. It's a very fast growing company. And she's great. I like her, and she's awesome. And she has the whole place. She doesn't have a roommate, even though it's a 2-bedroom. I guess she uses the other room as an office.
So some of the folks may, oops, I'm getting a text here. Okay. So we're trying to wrap it up. All right, got it. How about turn it over to you, Evan, if there's any questions you have.
As if anybody has any questions, just a summation, Steve or Josh, please correct me if I'm wrong. Basically what we're doing here is by right, you have 4 units, and given that it's currently occupied and let to 5 individual tenants, or I don't know, there's 5 individual units let, you're looking to get a variance to permit a 5-unit building as opposed to a 4-unit building.
Yes.
And that, is that an accurate summary of what we're voting on here?
And it's been that way since 1918. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, hi, this is Jason. I have a question. What's generating the variance now? Why is L&I involved? Is there a renovation going on that's why they're asking, or was this only 4 occupied for a long time and now a 5th? Like, why is this coming up?
No, Josh, you want to say about the neighbor who was
Oh,
putting
yeah, sure. Let's go
Yeah.
there. Why not? That really unusual neighbor who I think has sold his building, but there was a guy who his building was fronting on 17th Street, and the back of his property went up against my backyard. So he was renovating his property, but he was irresponsible with how he was getting rid of his trash. He dumped it into my backyard. He dumped it into the alley that's behind my house. It's like a street. He kind of covered all along the sidewalk, and he put a lot of trash in front of my building. And I wound up hiring people to move the trash. But one day when there was a large amount of trash in front of my building, L&I came, and that triggered them to be interested in my building. They thought it was me, that it was they wanted to see what's going on. They wanted to come inside. They cited violations for it being 5 units, when technically it's a single unit on paper. And since then, I talked to Steve and said, well, let's legalize it. And here we are. That's the short version.
Great, thank you.
I don't want to go into the long version.
No, that's fine. I was just curious, like why all of a
Guy's a
sudden?
real difficult person, but I think he's gone now. Yeah, what's that?
No, that's good. Thank you for the explanation.
It's a good question, but I think I answered it right.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no renovation there. We're not adding a space. It's all what's been there for 20 years. We're not building extra footprint on anything, or, nothing like that.
You did do some repair work a few years ago for a deck, and that was an existing deck that needed some repair, and so that's what the permit was for that.
Right. When L&I came, they said, "Oh, that deck is old. You need to remove that and replace it." We removed the deck, and the guys that removed the deck went to replace the deck, and when they did, it wasn't in L&I's zoning history that the deck was there. So then we had to fill out paperwork for the deck to be replaced, and we did, and we got that approved, and the deck was replaced. On the second floor rear, that apartment has a little tiny outdoor space.
And Josh, I just want to ask, or Steve,
Sure.
given that we're now looking to have a variance to have 5 units, are you registered with L&I to let the property for I presumably not all 5 units?
We had a renter's license as a single family, so we are registered to have people live there, but not as 4-bedroom or 4 units, and not as 5 units. And that's why we're here. We're trying to get that, legalized.
And then once we get the zoning permit, then we'll get the rental licenses for all 5 units. But they won't give the rental licenses until the zoning matches the number of units that are allowed.
Hi, I just had a quick question. I just forgive my, but just to make sure, you're not displacing any of these tenants, correct?
No.
You're just trying to follow L&I and, okay.
Yeah, everyone gets
Wanna
to
make sure.
stay. I just want everyone
Okay.
to be happy and for them to stay. And we just
Okay.
want to legalize it technically with this paperwork with the city and all that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
There's no more questions. I just want to let everyone know I posted the link to vote in the chat.
Thanks, Evan. And just to quickly reiterate with everyone, so please click on the Google form that Evan put in the chat. Please fill out your contact information. If you're not already in the UFCA database, we will be emailing you within the next 2 days. If you can just send us either a copy of your ID, lease, utility bill, something that has proof of residency or business within Francisville, so we can confirm that you are a stakeholder in the community. And then please make sure it's a 2-page vote. So fill out your contact information on the first page. You'll be voting on the project for 1625 Brown Street. The application is for a use as a 5 dwelling units in an existing structure. And the reason for refusal is that the lot area of 1,663 square feet, when for 5 units, it is 1,920 square feet is required. So you can vote to support, oppose, or non-opposition. And then just please make sure you hit submit at the very bottom of the second page. Otherwise, your vote will not be counted. If anyone has any questions, let us know. The voting will be open until the end of the meeting tonight.
Great, thank you. I think that's it for our part of the meeting, right? All right, it's good to meet everybody. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So that concludes our zoning project review and committee updates. And I know this was a quick meeting, but I wanted to open it up to the community if anyone had anything for discussion or wanted to share as we wrap up the year with UFCA.
This is the quietest people have been in a community meeting ever.
I think we're all frozen to death. I'm so cold right now.
It was also a very non-controversial topic. You're not trying to build anything.
Actually, I've got one more. Have you guys heard any chatter, any updates on the Glitter app on your Faith's Trash Man's initiative there, how it's going, things like that? You did? No. I missed last week's meeting, so I don't know if it was talked about then.
We had someone present on the Glitter app.
Yeah, we
and
did. Okay.
How it works.
Is that
and,
recording up?
It
So
should be.
it's-
It should be connected to the meeting notes that we sent out from last time.
Okay, cool. I missed it.
And we had a community member just share on on what the app is and how you could fill out a form if you don't know your block neighbors and want to kind of coordinate with other people.
Perfect. I'll go and rewatch that.
I'll drop the link in the chat. You can read the meeting minutes or view the meeting recording from the November meeting.
Perfect.
But if I remember correctly, basically neighbors can contribute to the block. And when they, hit a certain dollar amount that it costs to clean the block, that'll trigger the Glitter app to link up with someone. It's like Lyft or Uber, but for block cleaning. So it's a great way for community members to make some money and for the community to pitch a little bit of money together to get their block cleaned.
The only other thing that I had was last time in our last meeting, some community members wanted to know if we were going to start collaborating with the Moroccos who became a RCO in our neighborhood. And I just wanted to give an update that we are going to have a meeting with them in the next either 1 or 2 weeks. We're hammering down a date that we can all meet. And so they are old-time neighbors in our community who have had a nonprofit that was really aimed at mentoring and supporting the youth in the neighborhood. And they recently became an RCO. And so we're going to meet with them to see how we can collaborate and work together on stuff in our community. So I will keep you guys informed, and definitely by our next community meeting, we'll have some updates on what that looks like. And I'll let you all know.
All right. Well, this is my last UFCA meeting as president. So it has been such a pleasure to meet everyone and work with everyone in the community. Thank you so much for being part of it. I love Francisville. I'm very, very sad to leave. And so I won't be very far away. You'll probably see me pop up at some future meetings. I'm going to help the team here. Again, I just plea that people will step up and volunteer to keep the organization going, because I would really hate to see it falter and, go to the wayside, all these years of hard work and dedication by lots of volunteers. So I won't be far. I'll share my contact information in the meeting recap, so you guys can always reach out to me anytime, text, call, email, I'll be right here. But I will miss everybody a ton, and don't be a stranger. But I hope everyone has a happy holidays, holiday safe season, and we'll be quick with some of the meeting recap stuff so people can get out and donate to some of those awesome organizations that Amanda highlighted. If anybody else has anything to add, just shoot us an email, info@unitedfrancisville.com, and we can certainly add it to Amanda's list before it goes out to the broader community. And then we actually are going to be switching back to Google Meet starting in 2022 for all UFCA meetings. So we'll share that link too, so people can register and make sure that it gets on your calendars. So that'll take effect starting in January. And I think that's all the housekeeping stuff. So unless anyone else has anything to add, I just wanted to remind everyone that the next meeting will be January 12th, second Wednesday of every month in 2022. Same time, slightly different place on Google Meet. But if anyone has nothing else to add, I'm going to adjourn this meeting.
Jen has been an amazing leader in this organization, and don't be intimidated by how amazing she's been. Definitely step up. So email me, email us if you're interested, if you want to be involved in any other way. You don't have to jump to president. There's always vice president. Or if you want to be on any of the committees, please, please, please reach out to us. But we can only do as much as the people and the energy that we have. We all work full-time jobs, don't have a lot of time. More people's better. So definitely email us if you want to be more involved.
Is Rue around? Can you show her us in her birthday hat, or just in general?
Griff. That's all.
Oh.
And then I don't know where Rue is, but she just turned 3 and we made her wear a birthday hat the other day and she's very unhappy.
She's hiding from you now.
So. Alrighty, everyone. Well, it's nice to see you. Happy holidays. Be safe. Stay warm. I can't help myself, so I'll probably see you in January, but not as president. hopefully there's someone new running for president. I would love to see that happen.
And I see Rochelle on here. I've been trying to get her to be vice president. Rochelle, reach out to me. You know where I am.
Or Ms. Parker, I see you too.
We're just gonna shame people into, into jumping on the board.
There's Rochelle. All right, well, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. I think the officers can stay on if anyone had any questions. But otherwise, everyone have a great night. See you soon.
Hi, guys.
All right.
Short and sweet.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
I'm so sad. Stop this.
We're gonna make this work.